Hi everyone, I'm Anya and I'm bringing you a practice to gently tone and strengthen the deep core muscles. So why is this part of the body important and why should we strengthen this part of the body? So when I'm talking about the deep core, I'm talking about four main muscles. So I'm talking about the diaphragm, which forms the top of the core and sits just underneath our rib cage, underneath the lungs. And then the bottom of the core is our pelvic floor, and that is a sling of muscle which basically supports our abdominal organs and helps to control our bladder. And then the other two muscles are transverse abdominis, which is at the front and the sides, wraps around the sides of the abdomen, and then multifidus, which are like tiny muscles that run along the length of our spine. So today we're going to be targeting mainly diaphragm, transverse abdominis, and pelvic floor. And why are these muscles important? So basically, they are at the center, they're located sort of at the center of the body. So they provide our body with a great deal of strength, stability, and power. So they stabilize our, or help to provide stability for our lumbar spine, our lower back, and therefore can help to prevent back pain. But beyond that, they provide stability for the rest of our body, being at the center of the body. So they can, it can help to prevent our limbs from being overloaded, so our arms and our legs from being overloaded and overused. It can also help to prevent neck pain as well. So beyond these sort of physical benefits, from a yogic point of view, this is the location of our Manipura chakra, right here, around the solar plexus area. And this chakra is the place that we create from. It's the place that we take action from. It helps us to move forward in our lives. It also is the place of where our personal power is located, where our confidence resides. So, a pretty important part of the body. So for this practice, I have just got a yoga blanket to support my neck, placed under the head. If you don't have a yoga blanket, feel free to use a towel or some other firm blanket under your head. And I'm also going to be using a yoga block later on. Now, if you don't have one, it doesn't matter. You can still do the practice without it. So we're going to start by lying on our back. Have your knees bent, feet flat on the floor, about hip distance apart. So as I mentioned, the diaphragm does form part of our deep core muscles. So with that in mind, we're going to start with some diaphragmatic breathing. And we're going to place the hands on the belly. You may like to close your eyes. And just start connecting to your breath. And then you can gently start to invite a little bit more breath in each time you take a breath. Gently lengthening and deepening your breath. Notice where you feel the breath in your body. Is it high up in the chest? Is it around the ribs? Or is it around the belly? Or is it a little bit in each of those parts? So we're going to start to invite the breath a little bit deeper down into the body, where your hands are. So breathing into your belly. And then as you breathe out, letting your belly soften and relax. And if you're holding tension around your belly, just think of letting that go. You can imagine your belly is like a balloon, and then you're blowing up on all sides. So the front of the balloon, the sides, and even the back of the balloon. So when we breathe in this way, we start to use our diaphragm a little bit more fully and effectively. And just connecting to your core muscles here, to your belly, your abdomen. Nice slow long breath in and a nice slow long breath out, really relaxing everything on the exhale. So interestingly enough, the diaphragm has a connection to the pelvic floor. So every time we take a breath in, the the pelvic floor relaxes. And every time we take a breath out, the pelvic floor gently engages. But that's if we are using our diaphragm effectively and fully. So next time you take an exhale, rather than letting your belly just relax, start to just draw the lower belly in and up. So if you place your hands a little bit lower down towards the lower abdomen, you should feel a gentle toning or firming happening underneath where your hands are. So on the inhale, your belly relaxes, the pelvic floor relaxes. On the exhale, gently drawing in and up, and even thinking of drawing the pelvic floor up as well. So that gentle firming that you feel underneath your hands, there, that's transverse abdominis. So it's in the lower abdomen that we feel transverse abdominis engage. Let's take 3 more breaths like that. Really big breath into the belly and gently drawing lower belly in and up on your exhale. Good. Now we're going to add some pelvic tilts to that. So as you take a breath in, tip your pelvis forward so your lower back arches up off the mat, so your belly's relaxed. And as you exhale, tip the pelvis back, flattening the lower back into the mat, gently drawing lower belly in and up and pelvic floor. Inhale, tip forward. Belly relaxes. Exhale, tip back, drawing in and up, engaging those deep core muscles. So even with these small movements, you can start to feel the deep core. And if you've never done this before, it may take a bit of practice. And one thing I just wanted to mention is that we don't want to be pulling navel to the spine, because this really inhibits our breathing. So think more lower than the navel, and more subtle. All right, and then just find a position for your pelvis between those two positions. So you're not tipping too far forwards, and you're not flattening, you're not tipping back so that the lower back flattens. You should have a small space between your lower back and the floor. You should be able to slide your fingers under, slide your whole hand under there. And then you're going to keep that position of the pelvis as you are doing these exercises. So you can keep your hands on your lower abdomen if you like, just to feel what's going on there, particularly if you're new to this practice, or you can release the arms alongside the body. So start by bringing one knee up and then the other knee up into a tabletop position. And you should feel the lower belly firming, toning just gently. So from here, we're going to take heel touches. So you're going to flex your feet, and you're going to bring one knee into the chest and one foot down towards the floor. And then bring both back to tabletop, and then change sides. So inhale as you bring the knees back to tabletop. Exhale as you lower and bring the other knee in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So keeping your pelvis really steady so it's not moving. And then thinking of relaxing your shoulders and your neck and your jaw, because those muscles are going to want to take over. And then just bringing your awareness down to that lower abdomen as you're moving. Now, the further away that you tap down, the harder it is. So if you're a little bit stronger in your core, you can experiment with that. Okay, then let's bring the knees back to tabletop. Now we're pointing the feet. Same thing, same movement except pointing. And so take a breath in. Exhale, release one toe down, 1 foot down. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, change sides and bring the other knee in. Keep going, inhale and exhale. And even though this movement is so simple, you really get a good workout here for your deep core. And this is one of the gentlest exercises that I like to start with for people who have very little core strength. So do as many as you can. Okay, and then let's release the feet down. Take a breath, a few breaths here. Just let the belly relax. Okay, moving on to the next exercise. Again, starting in tabletop. Taking a breath in, and as you exhale, you can extend one leg up towards the ceiling and flex the foot. And then inhale, bring it back. Exhale, extend the other leg up, flex the foot. Inhale, bring it back. So keep going like that, changing sides and constantly thinking of that lower part of the belly, drawing in and up. So the flexing of the foot is just starting to lengthen through the back of your legs, the hamstrings and the calves. So from here we're going to add some arm movements. So bring the arms up and overhead. Take a breath in. As you exhale, bring the arms down and then extend one or both legs up if you're a little bit stronger. Then inhale, bring the knees back to tabletop, arms overhead. Exhale, extend the legs up, one or both. Inhale, bring the legs down, arms overhead. Exhale, coming up. Inhale, legs come down, arms overhead. Exhale, coming up. Inhale, releasing the legs down. Now, if your neck is okay and you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, take a breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to bring one or both legs up and then lift the head and the chest and the arms come down. Inhale, bring everything back down. Exhale, curling up. You can even breathe out through the mouth. Inhale, releasing down. Exhale, curling up. Inhale, down. Exhale, up. Now, if you have the strength, stay up and little pulses with the arms. Keep thinking of the lower belly, drawing down. And then release. Maybe extend the legs down the mat, reach the arms over your head, take a big stretch. Okay, bring your arms back down, knees bent again. This next exercise is called dead bugs, and we can progress the exercise. So we're going to start with the arms up towards the ceiling, and just think of making sure the backs of the shoulders are down on the floor. So the first version, you're gonna take a breath in. As you exhale, you're going to extend one leg out and extend the opposite arm back, and the other arm can come down. Inhale back to center. Exhale, change sides. Inhale back to center. Exhale, change sides. Keep going. So always making sure that you're controlling your pelvis here. It's not moving, it's not tipping forward or tipping back. So if you wanted to progress this exercise, you could raise the knees into tabletop position, and the same thing. Take an inhale, exhale, extend. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, extend. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, extend. Now, the lower that you extend the leg down, the harder it is. So just do what feels right for you. Once again, breathing out through the mouth may help. Remembering on that exhale, it's when the deep core engages. Do as many as you can. And if you start to feel this in your lower back, it's probably a good idea to stop and have a break, or maybe regress the difficulty of the exercise. All right, let's release. So just bring the knees to one side and then over to the other side, rolling the knees side to side, just to help release the lower back. Come back to center. Take another couple of breaths here. Before we finish off with the last exercise or last movement. So we're going to work with bridge pose, but we're going to do it in a way where we feel our deep core muscles engaging as we lift the hips up. So for this one, I'd like you to have a block, if you have one, and place it in between your thighs, either on the narrow setting or the slightly wider setting if you've got a bit of a bigger build, if your hips are a little bit wider. So you want the feet in line with your sitting bones, about hip distance apart. And for this one, I recommend removing the support that you have under your head. So before we lift the hips up, I'd like you to feel that engagement of the deep core muscles first. So you're going to take a breath in. As you breathe out, press down through your feet and just gently squeeze that block. And you should feel lower belly toning, firming. You can place your hands there if you like. And then inhale, release. Breathe into your belly. Exhale, press down through the feet and just gently hugging that block. Not even squeezing. Inhale, release. Exhale, pressing down and gently hugging the block. Okay, this time as you exhale, press down through your feet, gently hugging that block, and then start to tuck the pelvis under, lift through your pubic bone, and you should feel those deep core muscles engage as you start to come up. Take a breath in at the top, bring your chest closer to the chin, and then exhale, curl down one vertebra at a time. Now it doesn't really matter how high you come up. Take an inhale at the bottom. Exhale, press down through your feet. Tucking the pelvis under, lift the pubic bone, curling up one vertebra at a time on the exhale. Inhale at the top, chest coming closer to your chin. And exhale, curling down one vertebra at a time. Let's do that again. Inhale, relax the belly. Exhale, tipping the pelvis back, lift the pubic bone, pressing through the feet, curling up. Inhale, chest to chin. Exhale, curl down. One more time, inhale. Exhale, curling up. Let's hold here now. Breathing. Keep pressing down through your feet. You may feel your glutes engaging here. If you don't, just give them a little squeeze without gripping. Take one more breath in. And then curling down. Release the block. Bring the knees side to side. Bring the knees back to center. Bring the knees out wide and the soles of the feet together for a Supta Baddha Konasana. And just taking a few breaths here. So in Supta Baddha Konasana, our deep core muscles are relaxed. Our pelvic floor relaxes in this position. You may like to take a few longer, deeper breaths into your belly just to really let everything go. And just taking a moment to connect one last time to your core center, your Manipura chakra, the place where we take action from, the place that we create from, the location of our personal power and our confidence. So you can stay here as long as you like, as long as it feels comfortable. And then when you're ready, you can bring the knees back up and hug the knees into the chest. And maybe rock side to side, massaging your lower back area. And then releasing your legs. And that is the end of the practice. I hope you enjoyed and I hope you got something out of it. Namaste.